Students, in this video we are going to revise our chapter light, which is coming in your exam. I will discuss only those topics which are important from your examination point of view. Reflection of light. Students, you have studied this in the previous class also. Reflection is the bouncing back of light in the same medium after striking a solid object. Solid object may be a wall, may be a shiny surface, any such surface. When bounces back the light which is striking on it is known as reflection. Now we will discuss the two laws of reflection. When light suffers reflection from a well polished smooth surface, it obeys the following two laws of reflection. First law says the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal to the reflecting surface at the point of reflection, at the point of incidence, all lie in the same plane. I repeat, first law of reflection says that the incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal to the reflecting surface at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. This you must have seen in the previous diagram. The second law says the angle of incidence I is always equal to angle of reflection R. This is known as second law of reflection. Students, we will talk about lateral inversion. When we look our image in a plane mirror and move our right hand, it is seen that our image appears to move its left hand. This means that the left portion of the object looks right when placed in front of a plane mirror and vice versa. This phenomena of change of side of an object and its mirror image is known as lateral inversion. We will discuss about the characteristics of image formed by plane mirrors. The important characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror are: number one, the image of a real object formed by a plane mirror is always virtual. Such an image cannot be taken on a screen. The image formed by a plane mirror is always erect, that is, upside of the image is upside of the object and vice versa. The third characteristic is size of the image is always equal to the size of the object. Fourth characteristic is the image formed in a plane mirror is as far behind the mirror as the object is in front of the mirror. Next characteristic is the image formed is laterally inverted. Now we will discuss about the spherical mirrors. A plane mirror has a plane reflecting surface. If the reflecting surface is smooth, well polished and curved, then it is called a curved mirror. The laws of reflection are valid for curved mirrors also. There are different types of curved mirrors, but most commonly used ones are the spherical mirrors. Any spherical surface which reflects light is called a spherical mirror, right? The spherical mirror may also be defined as a spherical mirror is a mirror whose reflecting surface is a part of a hollow sphere of glass. Spherical mirrors that we have discussed already. So we will move on to concave mirror. A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inward, that is, the face towards the center of a sphere, is called a concave mirror. I will show you the diagram of a concave mirror. Students, you have seen the diagram of both concave mirror and convex mirror also. What is a convex mirror? A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved outwards. That is, it faces away from the center of the sphere. Such a mirror is called a convex mirror. We will discuss now some terms related to spherical mirrors. First one is pole of the mirror. The center of the reflecting curved surface of a sphere or the spherical mirror is called the pole of the mirror. I repeat, the center of the reflecting curved surface of a spherical mirror is called the pole of the mirror. Second is center of curvature. What is center of curvature? It is the center of the hollow sphere of glass of which the spherical mirror is a part. It is represented by letter C. Students, all these terms we have already discussed in our previous Zoom class. Remember. Third term is radius of curvature. The radius of the sphere of which the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror forms a part is called radius of curvature of the mirror. Principal axis. The straight line passing through the center of curvature C and pole P of a spherical mirror is called the principal axis of the mirror. Normal. Normal is the line joining any point on the mirror to its center of curvature, right? Or you can say the line joining any point on the mirror to its center of curvature is called the normal to the mirror at that point. Friends, you have seen the diagram, right? So we will discuss about the focal length. Length on the principal axis between the distance between pole and the focus of the mirror is known as focal length. Students, I have shown you the table of the image formation by a concave mirror for different positions of the object. I will discuss it one by one. When the object is placed at infinity in front of a concave mirror, image is formed as at focus. Size of the image is highly diminished. It is point sized. Nature of the image is real and inverted. When object is placed beyond C, means after center of curvature, then image is found between focus and center of curvature. size of the image is very small, that is diminished. The nature of the image is real and inverted. When object is placed at center of curvature, the image is also formed at center of curvature. Image is of the same size as the size of the object. It is real and inverted. When object is placed at between center of curvature and focus, image formed is beyond C, means it is formed after center of curvature. Image size is big, it is enlarged. It is also real and inverted. When object is placed at focal point of the mirror, image formed is at infinity. The size of the image is highly enlarged. When the object is between pole and focus, the image is formed behind the mirror. Size of the image is enlarged. Nature of the image is virtual and erect. Students, we will see the uses of concave mirrors. The common uses of concave mirrors are as: number 1, concave mirrors are used by the dentist to see the cavities inside the mouth. Right? Concave mirrors are also used by the doctors as head mirrors. A concave mirror is used by the doctors to concentrate light on the body parts which are to be examined, such as eye, throat, nose, etc. Concave mirrors of large focal length are used in solar furnaces to concentrate solar radiations to produce heat and to focus them on the kettle or a pan for cooking. Right? Concave mirrors are commonly used in torches, searchlights and vehicles' headlights to get powerful beam of light. When a small but powerful bulb is placed at the focus of the concave mirror, it provides a beam of parallel light rays which illuminates the objects up to a long distance. Uses of convex mirrors. The convex mirrors are commonly used as rear view mirrors in vehicles, for example car, bus, truck, etc. These mirrors are fitted on the sides of the vehicle, enabling the driver to see traffic behind him or her to facilitate safe driving. Right? The image formed by a convex mirror is slightly diminished, means of a smaller size, and the mirror is curved outwards. Therefore, a convex mirror gives a wider field view. Right? Therefore, convex mirrors enable the driver to view much larger area than it would be possible with a plain mirror. A convex mirror is also used as a reflector in street lights, due to which light from the lamp diverges over a large area. Students, we will discuss the Cartesian sign convention for the spherical mirrors. The first point in the sign convention is that the object is always placed on the principal axis, perpendicular to it and to the left hand side of the reflecting surface, right? Second one is all distances parallel to the principal axis are measured from pole P of the mirror. Alright, and third point is all the distances to the left hand side of the mirror are taken as negative, while all the distances to the right hand side of the mirror are taken as positive. Okay, the distances measured perpendicular to and above the principal axis are taken as positive, and the distances measured perpendicular and below the principal axis are taken as negative. We will discuss the mirror formula. In a spherical mirror, there is a relationship between the object distance u, the image distance v, and the focal length f, given by the mirror formula. It is expressed as follows: 1 upon f is equal to 1 upon v plus 1 upon u. This is known as mirror formula. U is the image distance, U is the object distance, V is the image distance, and F is the focal length of the mirror. The ratio of the height of the image to the height of the object is known as magnification. It is represented by the letter M, and the formula for finding out the magnification is M is equal to height of the image, let us take it as h dash, upon height of the object h. So we can write it as magnification M is equal to h dash upon h. Khatam.